As CNN's senior media analyst, little Brian Stelter is not very happy that One American News, OAN, and Newsmax are rapidly gaining viewers, finally giving conservatives some new choices to watch on cable news.
And there is demand for it. Let me show you the ratings for Newsmax. I've never seen anything like this. In the 16 years I've been covering Fox News, I've never seen a channel pop like this. Going from, like 100,000 viewers a day on a good day. Greg Kelly's now getting 1 million viewers a night. Fox has never seen competition like this in its history. So what you have going on is this right-wing audience that's ticked off at Fox News for not being pro-Trump enough. I never thought I would see it.
Well, Brian, it's not just the viewers that disagree with the Fox News corporate decisions regarding their election coverage. It's also some of the hosts.
And several pro-Trump rallies are planned in Washington, D.C. today. The demonstrations are in support of the president's effort to reveal voter fraud and count all the legal votes. Women for Trump supporters will march to the Supreme Court, urging President Trump not to concede. So far, state election officials have not reported serious irregularities with the vote that would affect the outcome of the race. That was in the teleprompter. I read it. I don't even know if I agree with it, but that happens sometimes.
That's Pete Hegseth, by the way, putting his job on the line by daring to disagree with what's in the teleprompter. Others like Leland Vitter, however, don't want to upset the apple cart because getting a paycheck is more important to them than journalism.
All right, so we heard from David, no plans to concede. What's the path then to 270?
Well, considering no state has actually certified the election results, there are ballots still being counted across the country. This is going to take some time to make sure we count every legal vote and do not count any illegal votes in the United States.
I understand that, but we've heard that talking point for a long time. But just go through the vote totals.
Let's talk about Pennsylvania for a fact here.
Okay.
There are almost 700,000 votes in Pennsylvania that were counted in opposition to the Constitution, an actual egregious error there where they violated the Equal Protection Act. Nope, you're going to let me finish. The Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Almost 700,000 votes
hold on.
in Pennsylvania and in Michigan. Let's have a conversation about that state as well, where you have video from Fox News of individuals boarding up the windows, again, in violation of the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the Constitution.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. You've talked more than I have, Aaron. Answer the question, and then you get to talk. The question is this.
I did answer,
what
but
do you want to have
interrupted me the first time.
What do you want to have happen with those 700,000 votes? The ballots are already mixed in. Do you just want 700,000 votes deducted from Biden's total?
We want to make sure that conversation happens. You're trying to say this is done and over.
I'm not. I'm not saying it's done and over. I'm asking you where you're going to find the votes to pull ahead. Where are the votes to pull ahead?
Forward. This is now my third time to try to get this answer out. The legal path ahead exists here because there are clear constitutional violations that keep snarking, making your faces and rolling your eyes, Leland.
Take me through.
I get it.
Just a friendly reminder that Al Gore didn't concede the 2000 election until about a month from now in mid-December. But President Trump apparently isn't allowed to question voter irregularities or violations of the Equal Protection Clause or even wait until the votes are actually certified to see how this thing turns out. Barack Obama has a new book out this week, so he's doing a bunch of interviews promoting it and complaining about President Trump and One American News and Newsmax's growing popularity.
The media landscape has changed, and as a consequence, voters' perceptions have changed, so that I think Democratic and Republican voters have become much more partisan. You already saw some of these trends taking place early in my presidency, but I do think they've kept on getting worse.
So he's basically summing up that whether you're on the right or left or in these echo chambers of news, misinformation, right now we've spoken about this. Right-wing supporters are leaving Twitter for Parler, switching the channel from Fox News to Newsmax. What do you think is driving the changes we're seeing in the media landscape?
Yeah, this is the giant move from 3 channels to thousands of channels, and in every interview Obama's given about his new book, he is talking about these changes in the media ecosystem that are making it harder, he says, to govern and to have a functioning democracy. I don't think anybody would want to turn back the clock 50 years and go back to a time before the internet, before mobile phones. At least most people wouldn't want to turn back the clock. But the consequence of this technology is that everybody is a member of the media, and these incendiary platforms with hyper-partisan content and lies and smears, they are able to get major traction. Obama talks about this in the interviews that are going to come out in the next few days. He is very critical of this disinformation world that now exists, but like everybody else, Pamela, he doesn't have any easy answers. He can identify the problems, then he's right about the problems, but there are no easy solutions to these problems.
Of course, Democrats have come up with the solution to their problem, which is to just continue to censor us even more. Both Facebook and Eventbrite banned pages that were promoting the March for Trump over the weekend, but that didn't stop hundreds of thousands of patriotic Americans from showing up. And MailChimp, the popular mass email service, has been banning people's accounts, including one for a North Virginia Tea Party group and a Women for Trump group, which were encouraging people to show up for the march over the weekend. And liberals are salivating at the hope that President Trump will be banned by Twitter in January, after the social media service announced that they're going to be removing the special protections that they place on the accounts of all world leaders that allow them to supposedly violate their terms of service, but keep their account. And this is how the most trusted name in news is reporting on President Trump's future on Twitter.
What was sad about what we saw in the Rose Garden today, the president didn't take questions. He almost seemed to be out there to soothe his damaged ego, but he was talking about the situation in New York. He was talking about the pandemic as if his policies are going to have some sort of effect on all of this after January 20th, when, of course, that's just not the case. And he's been tweeting this evening, talking about how he's won this state and that state. We have to pay attention to those tweets now, Anderson, because he's the president. But after January 20th, he just goes back to being another crackpot on the internet.
Jim Acosta, appreciate it at the White House tonight.
Well, Jim, I may just be some crackpot on Twitter too, but that doesn't change the fact that my last parody of Brian Stelter got more views over there than his show does on CNN. Look at this, 1.9 million views and counting. And if you enjoy my videos, I know you're going to love my new book, Hollywood Propaganda, How TV, Movies, and Music Shape Our Culture. Order it in paperback on Amazon.com before it gets banned again, or download the ebook from any of the major ebook stores. I would recommend the paperback because, unlike ebooks, they can't remotely delete that from your bookshelf. So head on over to Amazon.com or click the link in the description below and check it out.
What the hell? What is this?